If you just, let's say you magically put me, into the White House, and
A very enthusiastic reception for Dr. Ben Carson yesterday at the CPAC conference just outside Washington, D.C. Conference participants cast their vote for president in a straw poll. Rand Paul won that poll, but newcomer Dr. Carson finished in 7th place and beat out many well-known Republican politicians. Joining me now, Dr. Ben Carson, including, I should say, Sarah Palin. So,
I wasn't even on the ballot, so I don't even know how I got any votes.
I think actually you were on the ballot, but nonetheless, it is surprising. You are well known in the world of neurosurgery and medicine. It became an internet sensation at the very least after a prayer breakfast in which you openly challenged some of the president's principles as it applies to the economy. So when you look at what's happened to you over the past 5 weeks, how do you explain it?
Well, I can easily explain it by all the correspondence I've gotten from across the country, particularly from a lot of people who said they had given up and they didn't feel that there was anybody who represented their views in Washington, D.C. And now they felt energized again. And I think basically what I've been talking about, if you distill it, it's not really right stuff or left stuff. It's logical stuff. It's talking about what has happened historically to people who don't control their budgets, and a whole host of other things in terms of destroying the harmony in the nation and pitting people against each other, how those things are not useful. I think a lot of people resonate with that. They don't have to be Democrats or Republicans. They just have to be logical people who want America to succeed.
And yet I imagine that a lot of folks who contacted you were Republican inclined, since it was seen as a direct critique of Obama administration policy.
Actually, I got a lot of mail from people who said, at the outset, I'm a Democrat, but I resonate with what you're talking about. I think a lot of Democrats are just as interested in harmony and progress as Republicans are.
When you look at it, well, first let me ask, then, do you consider yourself a Republican?
I'm a registered independent.
But you lean more, I mean, you were at the conservative Republican. I know they asked you to come. But would you say in general that you lean Republican?
If asked to come to a Democratic convention and to give my views, I'd be happy to do so.
Be careful what you say, Dr. Carson. You may show up there. Tell me, one of the things that we're awaiting is a Republican look at what went wrong in 2012. As a voter, as someone more than interested in politics, as an observer right now, what would you say the Republican Party did wrong?
Well, I don't think that they were able to connect with the people to create the level of enthusiasm that was necessary. And I think a lot of the problem is a systemic problem, because I think the way that we elect presidents is not good. And a lot of people who live in blue states say, what's the point of me voting? A lot of people who live in red states say, what's the point of me voting? My vote really doesn't count, so they don't vote. We need to re-examine this situation.
Dr. Carson, you are going to stick with us and join our panel, which is coming up. So.